It's on. Josh Taylor versus Teofimo Lopez. Great fight. I love it. Probably the worst kept secret in boxing. I think a lot of people knew that this fight was happening on the 10th of June at Madison Square Garden, but officially announced last night on the Shakur Stevenson card. Great fight. I love it. And you all know my relationship with Josh Taylor, and you're probably going to say I'm biased and whatnot, but I think it's a great fight. Teofimo Lopez is an amazing fighter, former world champion, undisputed world champion. You can dispute that if you want, because obviously there was that Devin Haney situation down at lightweight. But he beat Lomachenko down there to grab all those belts. He's moved up to 140. And he's an exciting fighter, Teo. You can just look at all his fights. He's an exciting fighter that can hit as well. He can bang. It seems he always goes out in there looking for the knockout. So a great fight. Josh Taylor, we all know what Josh Taylor can do. I mean, you just need to go to the Ramirez fight and the Baranchik fight and the Prograis fight. And you can see that this is going to be an exciting fight. I think with Josh, though, the fact that when he became undisputed in Vegas 2 years ago, 3 years ago, whatever it was, I knew how upset, maybe upset's the wrong word, disappointed he was that his parents couldn't be there, because his mum and dad are always at his fights, along with his wife Danielle. They're always at his fights, and they couldn't fly, obviously, because of restrictions. I think there was probably me and another 10 other jocks, or 10 other Scottish guys that lived in the US that were at the fights. So for Josh to have his parents there and his wife there, and maybe a 1,000 odd fans there, Scottish fans, will mean the world to Josh, that he's getting another US gig to bring some fans over, which is great. And it's a great fight against Teofimo Lopez. Like I said, they both come forward fighters that can knock you out, can take you out if they want to. Now, you've heard that saying before, you're only as good as your last fight. Now, Josh Taylor, Jack Catterall, and Sandor Martin, Teofimo Lopez. Now, a lot of people, maybe a few people, thought that they both lost that fight. So probably now these two are going to go in there and probably want to put on a massive statement because of their last fight, because of what happened in the last fight and the sort of hoopla behind it and whatnot. So I think this is going to be a barnstormer. This is going to be a cracker. This is going to be everything, fireworks, everything. Because of that saying, you're only as good as your last fight. People won't forget, especially probably the Catterall fight for Josh. They're not going to forget that, because how big a news it was over here in the UK. But the Sandor Martin fight and the Teofimo Lopez fight, controversial. Maybe a lot of people thought that Sandor Martin won. You just need to look at Sandor Martin's response in the ring. But like I said to you, they probably want to go and right that wrong, if that's like, probably not right that wrong, but get that massive statement win. Because like I say, you're only as good as your last fight. Now, if Teofimo goes in there and stops Josh, or if Josh goes in and stops Teofimo Lopez, it's a massive, massive statement, because they're both great, great fighters. So for me, it's like I said, it's a barnstormer. And I think for Josh, he beats Teofimo Lopez, he's got options. He even moves up, which maybe he will, I think. And I think the Jack Catterall rematch, I think he said it as well, will always be there because of the animosity. And Jack even said it himself, he doesn't need a belt on the line for this fight now, and that fight will always be there, and I think it will happen. For Teofimo Lopez, he's moved up to 140. He had a fight with Sandor Martin, a good fight against Sandor Martin. But again, like I said, he almost doubted himself, because I think the words he was saying in the corner was after the fight was, do I still have it? He was questioning himself. So maybe he wants to get rid of them doubts in his own mind, that he can go in there and beat somebody like Josh Taylor, who's undisputed champion at 140, and he's still a world champion at 140, holding the WBO belt. But that 140-pound division with Regis Prograis in there as well is an outstanding division, man. It's a great division. So, but for me, 10th of June, it's been over a year for Josh since he's been in the ring. Will we see ring rods from Josh? Who knows? He's coming back off a heel injury as well. I don't think he started sparring yet. He's just been hitting static pads. He's not moving his feet as much. So hopefully that injury is healing up quite nicely and he can get back to sparring. Teofimo Lopez is a young, hungry lion. He's 7 years younger than Josh, 25 years old. And for him to beat somebody like Josh Taylor at 140 after the Sandor Martin fight, the doubts that he had in his mind after that fight would be a massive statement for Teo. Fingers crossed I can get out to New York to cover this fight. It'll be amazing. But like I say, great fight. Barnstormer, fireworks, cracking fight. Everything you want in a fight. You got a southpaw orthodox that come fight. They're just going to meet head on, I believe, with some neat boxing in there as well. But I think there's going to be a firefight in there somewhere. There's going to be a bit in that fight when they're in close and they're just going to throw punches, which we all love. We all love when two fighters just stand in the pocket and fire shots, similar to the Regis Prograis Josh Taylor. They hardly took a backward step, which turned out to be a great fight, a fight of the year contender all them years ago. I kind of see this actually might be a fight of the year contender, these two, because they both have points to prove. But like I say, you're on as good as your last fight, and both of them will want to go out there and make a huge statement in this one, especially the animosity, because I know there's been back and forth, and we all know about Teofimo's dad, and I know Josh Taylor's dad can say a few things as well. So this might be entertaining, but them two go at it as well, the fathers. So, but listen, great fight, I love it. I can see fireworks. I can see a firefight. How do you see the fight going? Let me know.